Let's take a look at the game recaps over the last week. I know I missed a video on the prior week's game recap, so we're going to take a look at those games, and then we're going to take a look at this past week. So to start off, November 8th against the Kings, they got smacked 5-1. Not much to say there other than I do think it woke them up after because we went on our 5-game win streak. So then November 10th, we shut out the Flyers. Nylander had 2 goals, including a power play goal, and then we had one from Kasha. He actually broke the streak. I believe it was this game. Kasha broke the streak for the core 4 goals. They had like 16 or something in a row, and Kasha broke the streak. He actually had an unreal week that week, and he specifically, but the third line in general, continued to be on fire. So then we went to the back-to-backs that we had Friday and Saturday. So Friday against the Flame, well, we came out with wins in both, which is obviously a good thing. Obviously a positive. So we came out 2-1 on Friday over the Flames in overtime. That one was a nail-biter. And then we came with a win, 5-4 over the Sabres on the Saturday, which was also a nail-biter because they almost weren't able to hold on, which is a very common theme with the Leafs, if you haven't noticed. So then, again, these 2 games, so we had Kasha with an assist from Nylander, and then Matthews had the OT hero, or Matthews was the OT hero, as per usual. And then secondary scoring, we got from Kampf, Kasha, Bunting, Tavares with a power play goal, and then Riley with the winner. So those were the goals, both on Friday and Saturday. So now we're all caught up to this past week, so let's get started. Tuesday versus the Preds, shut them out 3-0. Matthews, Marner, and Kampf, again, love to see the secondary scoring. It was a solid game, not too much to note there. There were quite a few odd man rushes, which has been the theme for majority of the season. Sad to say, but it has been the theme, and it normally always happens in like the first period. I guess that's when they start to get their footing, and then they normally have less odd man rushes as the game goes on, but definitely that needs to be changed and that needs to stop. We obviously have to stop our odd man rushes because poor Jack Campbell back there isn't going to be able to help us out all the time. So there's that. And then moving on to Thursday against the Rangers, we came out with another win, 2-1. Riley had both of our goals. One was a power play goal. He had an insane game. He had a pretty good week in general, but this game was insane. He literally single-handedly won us this game. Similar to how Jack Campbell does for us for literally every other game. We did start to let up, though, as a team. We started to let up and get trapped like they normally do towards the end. These 1-goal games, 3-2, 2-1, 1-0, even 2-0, they start to let up in the third period, and then we end up playing super defensively with a super low chances, low opportunities, low shot count, mainly in the third period or the second half of the third period. So that they did what they normally do, and they started to get trapped and have trouble getting the puck out. It almost looks like they kind of just start panicking, and that's when they get trapped, and that's when they rely on their bodies to block shots, and that's when they rely on Campbell to save their asses, pretty much. But this game, they were able to hold on, thank goodness. We did also, I wanted to note, in this game, we dominated the face-off circle at 80%. And to note, we are actually first in the league in face-off percentage as we speak. So, good job. And then Saturday versus the Pens, lost 2-0. Defense, in particular, had a really bad game. Simmons had quite a few chances. We're looking at offense. Simmons had quite a few chances. I think his quality ones came in the first period, if I remember correctly. Same with Marner and Engvall specifically. They had multiple chances as well, both of them, and the whole third line, really, like I said, the whole third line has just been awesome. They've had so many chances, so it's been really good to see from them. But is that issue again with not being able to capitalize on the tons of quality chances, because they were there. We had the shots, we had the power plays too. You look at, we had 4 chances on the power play this game. Power play was not working at all. But with the 4 chances, within that we had a 5-on-3. And it was a major throwback. I think it was to that Lightning game where we did end up coming through with a win that game. So this time the difference was we didn't come through with a win. We were not able to claw back. But like usual, the power play wasn't working. But also they started pressing too late. And again, where the power play would have been a solid chance to come back, it was wasted. Now, I talk a lot about, if you listen to my podcast, I talk a lot about these power plays being wasted chances, especially in the 2-1 games where we're winning or losing. In the 2-1 games where we're winning, it's a way to solidify the win and prevent us from feeling trapped back in our own zone and playing too defensively. And then the 2-1 games where we're losing, or 2-0 games where we're losing, it just helps claw back and build momentum, because they do have a hard time building momentum. I notice when they're losing, without power plays, building momentum normally comes with 5 minutes left in the game, and normally for them that's too late to claw back. With the power plays, I feel like I just feel like there's more of a chance to help build that momentum, and they almost never capitalize on it. I mean, if you think you get a power play in the third period with 10 minutes left and you're losing 2-0, that's tons of time if you're able to get a goal on that power play. So it's a continuous theme. It's just these wasted chances with all these power plays, especially in close games like this where chances had been coming the whole game, and if they got a goal, it definitely would have changed the landscape of the game. There was also the giveaways that bit them in the ass as well, pretty bad. It was, I believe, 20 or 17 giveaways to 9, something like that. So those giveaways mostly also coming from the outlets and the way that they work the neutral zone in this game. They just look lost in the neutral zone. And the outlets were not clean or crisp or smart. So there was that as well. And then Liljegren and Sandin, they had a pretty bad game. There's nothing else to say there. They just had a pretty bad game. And then obviously Campbell, he was huge. He was huge for them all week. He kept them in the game on Saturday. Could have been a lot worse. He made a lot of crucial saves towards the end that started to shift the momentum. But Campbell can't be relied upon to entirely change the game. He started the shift, but then it's the responsibility of those in front of him to capitalize on the transition. So when he makes a nice save, a game-saving save, or a save that keeps them in the game, I believe last night was he made a nice toe save or something. But when that save is made and it turns around, it turns into a transition into the offensive zone, the onus is on those players. It's on the Matthews, on the Marner, on the Kasha, the Camp, whatever. It's on them to turn that into a goal. And they didn't last night. So that was that. So those are all the game recaps pretty much over the last couple weeks. Come back next week for more game recaps.